You're listening to The Real Short Box, a comic book podcast made for geeks by geeks.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the most righteous audio podcast on Earth today, The Real Short Box. And let me introduce to you my co-conspirators and co-hosts. First, we have a madman from Ohio. He is the Scarecrow of Hollywood, California.
What are you talking about? You're trying to relate it to the topic.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm Donald.
And next to me, we have the ventriloquist of Santa Clarita, California. He is known as Big Sal.
Yep, Big Sal in the house.
Yeah, he's a 5'0", 100 pounds, Big Sal.
Yeah.
And then we have a very strange man, a man who has a Killer Croc attitude. He is simply known as Showtime.
Showtime.
I think I would relate more to the Penguin.
You know,
Okay.
you know what's crazy? I was
Okay,
really thinking that.
okay, he is the Mexican Cobblepot.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Mexican Cobblepot. I love it. That's going to be his new nickname. Mexican Cobblepot.
Oh my god.
You're too happy for yourself. Oh, Kevin's over here gloating.
I'm not gloating. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I didn't say a word. That's you.
Well, we're talking about unknown, not well known.
Not well-known villains, but villains that we think would be pretty cool to see in a future Batman movie. And as we know, God knows, there's at least 12 of them at this point out over the last 30-something years. But we've seen...
Villainous prospecting.
Yes, but some villains have been used repeatedly. In some cases, they've been used and not used
Okay, we don't
correctly.
want another Lex Luthor in a goddamn Superman movie. Stop
I know.
it. Just
Please.
fucking stop
Why
it.
can I get Mr. Misplictic?
Yeah. Okay.
Or Metallo.
How about the Parasite or
Or a boy.
Cyborg?
The Brainiac.
How
The
about-
Brainiac.
How about we just agree to never do another Superman movie
No.
because they're dumb.
No.
They're dumb.
I want another Green Lantern movie, but done
Face
properly. Done properly.
See, what would have been good was if they bring Brainiac, they would have to bring Lobo because Brainiac
That'd be
hired
great.
Lobo
Rebels. A Rebels
to
movie.
kidnap Superman.
Mhm.
You know what I
I
mean?
like that.
I like a Rebels movie. I'd be cool with that. Because that would be like DC's version of Guardians of the Galaxy in some respects.
So we've already changed this pod to Superman. That's cool.
And Rebels. Rebels.
See what happens?
And Rebels. Let's have some
Yep.
Rebels.
Yep. So Batman. We're talking about Batman villains. Ones that might not be very well known to you guys, but or it might be. We just want to talk about them, to be honest, because we're tired of seeing the Joker. Good Lord, I don't want to see the Riddler ever again.
Well,
I
where's
do,
the question?
but done right.
You didn't
No.
like the Riddler in the last one, the entire movie, or up until
Up until for me, it was up
The
until
entire movie for me.
I thought it was done fairly well up until they undisguised him.
Yes.
And then it went to shit.
yes. And they kept him like a mystery and just him doing his dirt behind the scenes.
I mean, if they wouldn't have been wearing that stupid BDSM mask,
Well, yeah, you see, the problem was
So dumb.
they were going for the Zodiac Killer thing. Why not just dress him like the Zodiac Killer? I think it would make more sense.
But here's my real question. Batman, going as far back as you can as a kid, remembering the TV show, did the Riddler ever look like that?
No.
And that's the thing is I understand you have to make it, try to get it more for the times that are
More
going in.
realistic.
But I think sometimes you can be simple and just use the character as is.
Yes.
Just make him a little scarier.
Yes.
Now, like Jim Carrey, too far.
Frank Gorshin, too far.
right?
Even
that.
Now, the Batman the Animated Series Riddler. Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's
perfect.
that's
the
more
perfect
like it.
way
That's more
to
like
make
it.
Riddler.
It's-
But here's the thing,
Hush
and I
Riddler
don't mean
even.
to steal anybody's thunder on this, but if
Mhm.
you're going to do him like the Zodiac Killer or whatever, why wouldn't you just use Calendar Man? Wouldn't that just make more
That would-
freaking
Yeah,
that would
that's
make
true.
way
That's
more
true.
sense if
That's
you did
true.
That, but
it's just like when they did Mr. Freeze. When you're watching the movies, there's supposed to be Warner Brothers is supposed to be more geared towards the younger crowd. And Arnold was his huge star back then. You wanted to have big stars, and it just didn't work. I mean, you watch it as nostalgic, but it's just you would never do that today because it just doesn't work. You want a guy who's like you want like a thinner guy that's kind of like a scientisty kind of guy.
You know, Vincent D'Onofrio back then I think could have worked.
It should have been Patrick Stewart.
Right.
100%.
Right.
We all know that.
We all know
yeah,
that.
and then because I almost say you kind of want that borderline, psychopathic villain that's Mr. Freeze, right? Not, Arnold was too jovial to be, I think, Mr. Freeze. And that's how I read it when
What about Robert Duvall back then? That could have worked.
No,
No.
he was still too old.
wrong build.
Who's the guy that played Sinestro? In,
Oh, Mark
Don-
Strong. Mark Strong.
Was it Mark Strong?
Yeah, Mark
I thought
Strong.
it was Tom Strong for
Oh,
some
Mark
reason.
Strong.
Well,
Well, he
Mark-
was strong either way.
Yeah,
I think he would have been a really good, Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Because
that's a good choice, dude.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
solid choice.
that's because I like how he presents himself in movies with the demeanor, and not only that, but like Mr. Freeze is just he's just trying to like save his wife,
And
he's doing
He's
whatever
already
he
been
can.
two DC villains, though.
Well, Kevin Spacey.
I don't think he could
Back
do any
then.
more.
and he's remember this
That's
is
bad choice.
Mr.
Better than
Freeze is
Beetlejuice.
supposed to be smart. And I'm not saying Arnold's not smart. He doesn't come off that way. I'm not saying he's not bright.
Right.
He doesn't come off that way.
Right.
You want someone who looks intelligent without saying a word. You get what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
Subtle.
Yeah, but like in Scarecrow, right? And in Batman Returns, I like the actor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily
Batman Begins, you mean?
Batman Begins. I like the actor. I'm not sure.
Killian Murphy.
I didn't really believe that whole mask and the spray.
I didn't like it either.
Because- In the comics or in the old the comics, you never really saw his face.
Yeah.
He was always just the Scarecrow.
Right.
You never knew what was underneath.
Plus, he was playing second fiddle to someone else. And then that kind of hurt his character, too.
Well, they were trying to put too many people in the
Mhm.
mix altogether, right? They were trying to get the League of Shadows in there. They were just trying to jam it in there. And it was good, don't get me wrong. Enjoyed it. But I do think, I think the Scarecrow is one of Donald's favorite characters.
Yeah, much like how the Riddler is one of my favorites. And they never got done justice.
And, so
yeah, we both got screwed.
We got screwed our
Mr.
favorite.
Freeze is my favorite.
And he got
it's
screwed.
Horrible.
Thankfully-
your guys has had was decent. And I did, but Bane's like one of my second ones. And
Bane, the
other
second
than-
time around.
Other than the fact
Second
you
time
didn't like you didn't like the voice. No, the second time around, yes.
No, Tom Hardy. I love his
He
voice.
hated it.
Oh, it's so
No, I
because
hated
it's
it.
funny.
I don't like Tom Hardy as Bane.
I'm Gotham's reckoning.
Yoda I sound like.
But his
Fuck out of here.
but his presence was so great, right? It's the way he just looked menacing.
Yeah,
know?
for sure. But the thing is that with Bane, he's like this huge authority and just
He
what
was
I
in the
mean?
movie. Other
Yeah,
than
in the
his voice.
movie. But the thing is that
He's supposed to be like the brains behind the
Well, sort
operation.
of.
and
But they
look,
made him the bitch to
I
Talia.
Right.
give
Much like Scarecrow
I give
to Roz.
Christopher Nolan the credit because what he was doing was trying to make it very realistic. Which is cool. But the Batman sucked. Christian Bale's Batman was trash. And
No,
Wow.
you're
No.
retarded.
No,
You're retarded.
no,
Someone's gonna
You're
curse you out.
retarded.
Bale's Batman?
was
No.
trash.
Now the voice,
Trash, agree.
the voice,
Trash.
his voice.
Agreed.
Trash.
The Clint Eastwood voice. Yes,
Right.
the Clint
No,
Eastwood voice
trash.
impersonation.
All right, so who played the better Batman? And don't go fucking
Val Kilmer.
Don't go say
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton because he was the first Batman you ever saw.
No, he saw Adam West. He
No,
saw
I've
Adam
seen
West.
Adam West.
Yeah, but not on the big screen.
Well, okay, I wasn't even born yet when he was on the big screen. But if I can't say Michael Keaton, I'm gonna say for me it's Ben Affleck and then Val Kilmer and then I'll say George Clooney.
Yeah, I'd say Ben Affleck was a pretty good Batman.
Yeah, well, he's the one that embodied,
He actually
Batman
looks the
in the
part.
comic
He looks.
books.
Yeah, that's what I'm
He
saying. He
looked
looked
like
the physical,
he could
the most
put a
physically
hurt on
imposing, the
somebody.
most
Yeah.
physically imposing
and
Batman.
then
I think Christian Bale played by far the best Bruce Wayne out of all of them. Right?
Really, more so than Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
I do think so. I think he
Wow.
was the best Bruce Wayne, and I think his Batman probably wasn't the best in terms of voice, but I think Michael Keaton in the era of Michael Keaton, he was by far the best Batman when it came to something that was designed for everyone, youth and everything alike.
Mhm.
Christian Bale was probably the better Batman for the dark part of it, right?
Okay.
The last guy who did Batman,
Robert Patterson.
Robert Pattinson, I don't think he played a really good Batman. I think he did a good job being kind of like dark, but I'm not necessarily.
Emo Batman.
Yeah, like he was more.
Well, he
of
was
your
still.
today's
What
Batman.
was he still? Year one or
Year two. Year two.
Year two. So he's still figuring out what to do as Batman. But when it comes down to like what we know of Batman,
It's Twilight Batman.
is like a master of how many fighting styles? Christian Bale didn't give us that. Christian Bale gave us a brawler, and
But you can't.
Batman's not
okay,
really
but you
like
can't.
that.
Okay, 100%. I agree with you. But you can't blame that on Christian Bale.
I'm not blaming it on him.
No, but you're saying he was trash. He can only give you what he's directed to do, right? The Robert Pattinson was directed more in that direction,
Mhm.
right? Michael Keaton didn't give you shit. He was just a, come save you, jovial Batman. He wasn't. He didn't
Jovial
give you.
Batman.
Well, I mean, like Warner Brothers style. More like an animated kind of thing. He wasn't.
George Clooney.
He didn't give you. He didn't give you any big fighting styles or anything like that. You weren't getting that with
Well,
him.
Sometimes you like and
When you're saying sometimes
he did more than what Christian Bale was doing. Like he was doing side kicks, roundhouse kicks, and then not only that, when he fought that dude in the alleyway with the two swords and he was blocking all of it, and then he just stands there and then just does a straight front kick to the dude in the face and does a backflip, like. He shows, but that's like I said, like Michael Keaton, he's more of like a veteran at that time as Batman, right?
Yeah.
So, but Robert Pattinson, when
He's
you
young.
see him fighting,
He's year two.
he's doing a lot more CQC and disarming guys, because they were
Mhm.
coming at him with bats, weapons, and even like when he was getting shot up with the machine guns, and you just see all the ricocheting coming off of the suit,
Right.
like that was cool to me. But what I liked what they did with that movie was they did more of a detective style
Yes.
than
And
any
I
of
talked
the other
about that
movies.
for years. I always wanted to see a detective style
I
Batman.
still don't think it was done well.
Right.
like, the
because
detective
the
style
second half
wasn't done
especially.
well.
The second half was the
It
issue.
was. I thought it was like it was
Had
acceptable.
the right idea, but wasn't
Give
perfectly
me a
Yeah.
executed.
Fincher directed Batman.
I wonder why they never offered one to him.
I don't know, but I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I think he did a hell of a job.
a seven style Batman.
I mean, he was probably like, well done on that Riddler, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if he directed it, because again, you're trying to go for that 7 type of thing,
Yeah.
and you did that. If he did that,
Yeah, yeah.
oh man, it would have been awesome.
So, as far as like villains are concerned in this,
I got one for you.
I know that we all have one. Let's throw one out each,
Okay,
and then we'll kind of pick one out of that group and go from there. And then we'll do that again.
Showtime.
I'm gonna say I'd really like to see a movie just the League of Shadows. Now it's not a character, but it's
The organization.
organization.
Uh-huh.
The League of Shadows, like a real full blown organization. Batman's fighting a full blown organization of the League of Shadows.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be the first film that you see Ra's al
No.
Ghul.
It's
It's just
his people.
Him and ninjas and shit. Yeah.
Or it could be
Kinda like
mob,
a- kinda like The Hand.
it could be like crime
Daredevil.
guys that he's used in his
Falcone and what's
Carmine Falcone.
the big guy? What is his name? You know who I'm talking about? Big dude.
that would be my villain name.
Big
It's
dude.
the big dude. Back it up. He's got you.
He was in the animated series a lot. And he was always the bigger guy with the white hair.
Oh, and yeah.
And then they introduced like the whale in one of the Batman. And I'm not talking about Brendan Fraser. I'm talking about the villain, the whale, who was became like a mob boss in prison. He was a good guy, and he just got corrupted by all the villains in Arkham, and it kind of fucked him up.
They
I
turned to the
love
dark
that
side.
story.
They turned to
yeah.
the dark side.
I think the League of Shadows would be cool.
Rupert Thorne.
Rupert Thorne.
That's who it
As
was.
they-
Son
as
of a
they-
bitch.
They move through.
I didn't look this up, by the way. I just
Came off the top of
pulled
his
it out
head.
of my head.
Impressive.
Yeah.
They just move through Gotham, just wreaking havoc, and Batman has to figure out in that movie how he gets to the leader. Who is the guy in charge at the very end? Stand at the last minute of the movie, Ra's al Ghul, and then he goes, "Tune in next time." Remember the old Adam West?
What
Where
are
they-
you doing?
where they would
You're
go-
making a bunch of noise.
They will go tune in next time to see if the villain can get out of this.
Stop blowing.
Yeah, stop blowing things, Kevin.
Kevin, what's your
Can't stop blowing stuff over
This
there.
one would be a nice, cool, gray character that just goes dark. Jean Paul Valley, Azrael.
Ooh, that's nice.
This would be kind of cool with my little setup here. Basically, it could be post-Batman injury, right? Azrael is there doing his thing, but of course he goes too far. He's killing people. He's going over the top. Batman has to come out once he's healed to confront him and say, "Hey man, you're going too far." No. I'm not going too far. I'm doing what needs to be done. And now you're in my way. and then you just have this conflict of
I'm not going too far. I haven't gone far enough.
yeah, exactly.
And then cut to trailer, But
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. So,
That's a
yeah.
Probably good.
Yeah.
They're face to face. It's going to happen, and
they're
then it
different.
ends.
They're different armor. They're
Yeah.
different suits.
And it ends.
It ends.
That'd
And you have to
be
wait
nuts.
a year and a half to get the next
you
movie.
have the brute, John Paul Valley, and then you have the brains of Bruce Wayne fighting. You have his acrobatics and his brain power versus John Paul Valley and
For
his
the
absolute brute strength.
for the soul of Gotham.
Yeah, battle for the soul of Gotham.
Would you want Batman to have the white eyes like Deadpool?
Yeah, maybe. Depends.
Hey, wouldn't it be cool if Batman met Iron Man and Iron Man gave him the nanites? So his suit was made of that. So he doesn't have to go to the Batcave. He could become Batman anywhere.
That'd be nuts.
But then again, Bruce's and Tony Stark's their intellects are pretty even. You would think he'd just come up on this with that on his own.
Yeah.
It hasn't come out yet. They haven't
Okay.
used it yet.
So I have an idea.
Uh-huh.
I have an idea. You know how you have Arcade, right, from Marvel?
Right?
Right.
Okay, so you use that concept, but with Maxi Zeus.
Hmm.
And it's
Oh.
called Batman the Gauntlet. And Maxi Zeus has designed this like warehouse, huge, giant, like whatever it is, dome thing or something. And he's stuck in there with all these different types of villains. Like Killer Croc's in there, and he's the strength, and kind of the insanity. And he's in like the swamp area that Batman has to navigate through. And then he goes into this like weird realm where everything's like large and oversized. And it's the Mad Hatter that's trying to, then try to control him through hypnosis. And then you get to like another section, and it could basically be, I don't know, it could be like Man Bat, and you're out in the field and there really isn't any place that you can hide from him,
Yeah.
and he just is swooping down like in North by Northwest, only you're running and Man Bat's chasing you down. That kind of shit, I think would make a freaking excellent movie
He
with
falls in
all
a-
these really
he-
cool villains.
As he's running, he falls into a hole, and that's where he sees Bane.
Yeah, Bane's in that hole.
Mm-hmm.
I was born here.
I've been
in the
waiting for you.
darkness. I was born in the darkness.
It's like Game
okay,
of Death
man.
for
I grew in it.
Batman.
Yeah.
All right, give us
I showered in
give
it.
us yours, Big Sal.
I would really like to see like either the ventriloquist or Clayface, because I think with Clayface he could mold himself into anybody. The only thing is that his weakness would be if he was to do like all these different crimes out in the world, and if it starts raining, and it rains a lot in Gotham, then you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
so something like that, and then you could bring in the aspects of being a detective. So like he's trying to track down Clayface, but he can't track him down, and then like there's little residues, and he's like,
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
trying to
like-
figure. Like at first, he doesn't know why this person keeps popping up in these crime scenes.
yeah,
Why is there mud everywhere I go?
Yeah.
mud,
yeah.
no fingerprints, no
Right.
facial recognition,
Uh-huh.
all this other stuff.
Detective skills will be used.
Exactly. But then the detective skills could be used for Donnie's movie too, because if he was in the swamp area with Killer Croc, you never know. Killer Croc could grab Batman and take him under the water.
Mm-hmm. Roll him. Yeah.
He has like a breathing apparatus thing, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
to breathe
yeah.
underwater.
Right.
And then he has something
Utility
for every level, like for his game of death.
Yeah, I like that. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Name a character that's been in a movie, a Batman movie.
Uh-huh.
We've had what? 3, 4, 7,
So far,
8?
full.
Oh, we've
Let's
had
see.
8.
Well, we had 2 live action originally, and then the 2 that followed it was 4, and then the 3 from Nolan. So it's 7, and then this new one is 8.
So in the
And
8,
then Batman versus Superman, I guess that could kind of count too, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
true.
9.
so in the 8 movies that they've had.
Yeah.
But then they do Justice League too or no?
Yeah, I mean, he was in Justice League.
Okay,
too.
so there's 10.
Sort of.
So
So this-
in all the movies he's done, right? In all the movies he's done, which is the one character that they've used
Mhm.
that you believe, number one, they've overused the Joker,
Right.
What are you thinking?
Right.
And one that you believe,
Catwoman too. We can throw her in
Catwoman.
there as well.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
No, nothing wrong with her. Nothing wrong with her.
The one character you believe that you would say murdered that movie. Like that movie was bad to you because that character did it.
Scarecrow. 100%. It was Scarecrow ruined.
And that was in 2 movies, right?
Yeah. No, I think he was in all 3, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
3.
was.
So it was all 3.
He's had small parts in all 3. Bigger in the first, and then really small in the second and third.
Second, third.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the second, I thought it was utilized just a little bit better because he was just evil. He was just
Yeah,
the
he was
Scarecrow.
he was already crazy at that point,
Yeah.
but he was pure patsy.
right.
You know what I mean? He was pure whatever, like a joke, basically.
Easiest one you would say I think would be Mr. Freeze, right? That'd be easy. But I'm going to go further. I'm going to keep making this point. I think they underutilized and incorrectly utilized Talia al Ghul.
Hmm.
No one that I know that watched the movie that wasn't a comic book person knew who she was.
Right.
They just thought there was this chick
Right.
that was on Batman's side, and then they found out she was the one, and then
She reveals herself. I am Talia al Ghul. You know.
right. I liked the actress. I liked her voice.
Mhm.
But I think they could have at least carried on one more film, made them love partners for real.
Right. And pump out Damien.
And then instead of killing her, she goes away and she tells him, I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
And then
Because they did sleep together by the fire.
and then he's torn between, do I kill her? Because she's carrying my child. Or do I save her, but she's going to be evil?
Or you say, wait for her to have the baby, then kill her.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, and then we moved. Jesus, Kevin.
I know.
Dark.
The kid or her?
Jeez.
But I
You
think
killed my mother.
it would be great.
You set up the next movie.
Well, yeah, we set up Damien.
Set up the next movie.
She's doing crime.
Son of the Demon, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the next movie. Damien,
Yeah.
Son of the Demon.
She's doing crime, right?
Yeah.
And he stops the crime, but every time he catches her, he can't do anything to her because he's torn between
the
killing-
love.
Okay.
The love.
So that's mine. I think Talia al Ghul was underused.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's a Scarecrow? Give me one, Kevin.
You know what? Thinking of Batman Forever, they both were bad, but for me, Two-Face was worse. Just the way he looked and just his mannerism, the way that Tommy Lee Jones was told to act the character.
I thought Aaron Eckhart did a great job.
No. Yeah, his is fine. I'm talking about from the first time we saw Two-Face.
Now, was it-
But they
Was it-
killed him off. Like,
Was it the way he looked? Was it the way he looked?
It was that was terrible. His acting,
It
and
was
again, I
him
don't
trying to be the Joker.
Yeah, it was just like, what is this? This is not.
It was just like when Frank Gorshin wanted to be the Joker, didn't get the part, so he made the Riddler the Joker.
and that's why people for years were confused of what the Riddler is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were totally confused.
I think you're right. I didn't like Tommy Lee Jones's one. I did like the second version of the Two-Face.
Oh yeah,
I think it was awesome.
Aaron Eckhart's absolutely. The only problem is I wish we saw more of the Two-Face. They think we didn't see
Ain't
enough
that
of
a
him.
bitch, though?
We didn't see enough of him.
That
He was getting good.
Heath
And then they
Ledger-
kill him.
Heath Ledger, the Joker, they were like, oh, let's not make the mistake killing him off like we did in Jack Nicholson's The Joker.
Mhm.
Let's let him live, but let's kill Two-Face this time.
Mhm.
And then the dude playing the Joker dies, and you're
Just-
like, son of a bitch.
Just
you
like
could've
just,
kept
just like
them
in the Star
both.
Wars sequel trilogy, you kill off one character and then the
Oh,
other one
that's-
dies in real
But
life.
you could
Right.
have kept them both. You literally could have kept them both.
I know. I agree.
Could have been
Well, there's
both
no
great.
I agree.
reason why you can't. I
Right.
do not understand why they keep killing them. Arkham Asylum
It's
exists for a
for a right
goddamn
reason.
reason.
For a reason. Fill up the place with
Villain.
the villains.
Yeah, or like if you do the gauntlet thing, you could do that also in Arkham Asylum too, if you want.
The
Batman
movie.
gets
The
locked
movie.
in,
Yeah.
And he has to go up the floors to get out.
Yeah.
And going up the floors, you got to go through all
It's
those
like what's that movie? The one where he has to battle his way through a whole prison. The Raid.
The
Wasn't
raid.
it The
oh,
Raid?
it wasn't
Something
a
like
prison.
that?
It was an apartment complex that was run by a
Same-
drug lord.
That, and then they did the same thing in Dread
Mhm.
when they redid Judge Dredd.
It
It
was,
was the
Yeah.
same thing.
the
Yeah,
maze.
Carl Urban's Dread.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
give us one, Sal. Give us to us.
For me, it's gonna be the Riddler because I didn't really like Jim Carrey was okay, but this costume, no, it was okay. It was between the two new guys. Like Jim Carrey grew on me. What it is, but the costume is what just threw me away from him. And then it's just like the new one. Like I did not like the costume design. And it's like, to me, it's like, dude, there's so much material. We have the internet to
You have
look
the
at
comics to cry out
different.
loud.
Yeah.
You have Batman the animated series.
You literally
Yeah.
have it storyboarded for you.
Right.
Yeah,
you know?
there's like
And they
so
still
many,
can't get it
so
right.
many design. Like there's designs from that I really liked for the Riddler was in the Arkham Asylum video game.
There you go.
Like his costume and the way that the voice actor portrayed him and how
Perfect.
It was amazing.
I just think that Jim Carrey, he was a clown. He wasn't a joke, but he was a clown.
Yeah.
And it, I don't know, man. It was like him showboating in a sense, trying to take away from the movie itself. The first movie, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, they did great because it was just them to battle it out, and it was good.
Yeah.
And then when they went to the other characters, they just showboated, and it just took away. It was almost like
You felt Penguin was too showboaty?
Penguin was fucking phenomenal.
No, Penguin.
Danny DeVito.
Okay,
did
about to say.
fucking, that's the one. That's the one character that they did really well.
Mhm.
Was the Penguin. Danny DeVito did a great job.
And
George Jimenez, who draws for Batman, draws the Joker in the comic book,
That's Danny
and
DeVito.
looks just like fucking Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito should sue him.
Penguin, yeah.
You're using my likeness, but he did a great job. I think.
Like Gary Frank with Christopher Reeves on Superman when he was doing Superman artwork. Looks just like
Speaking of Penguin, Colin Farrell did a great job as Penguin.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I was going. Yeah, definitely. 100%. And we're going to get that HBO Max
Max
Penguin
series.
series, and I'm stoked about
I
that.
will say this, that I felt sad for the Penguin when he dies in the movie. Like, dude, that
Yeah, that was
Once
sad.
again,
that was sad.
that was
That was
why
sad.
you kill him?
I
Once
know.
again, you can lock him up and they escape for some unknown reason. I mean, I watched Batman when I was a kid, the TV show forever, and no one ever died. It was just they would
Lock 'em up,
they would,
lock 'em
or
up.
they would escape by some nature,
Right.
and it would just keep going on. And
Oh,
there was
yeah.
there was times where Batman didn't have any villains. He was just fighting crime.
You're right.
He was, it was just crime boss. It wasn't a villain. I think that might be a way to go at some point in a movie. That you don't necessarily have to have a top-notch villain.
Right.
You could just have Batman and Robin.
Or you can
fighting
make-
crime.
Guess the mafia.
Create a
Guess the
new
mob.
villain.
Yes,
Guess
you
the
can
mob.
make a top-notch villain.
Yeah,
you
guess
could
the mob.
create a new one, or you can use an unknown and make that unknown something
A
great.
corrupt mayor that's
Let's-
in league with the mafia or something like that.
Let's take a break from the Blue Beetle, and let's do a Batman series, and we have a villain called Attaché Case Man, right?
Hmm.
The attaché.
Attaché, and then Batman fights him. We don't know what's in the case.
Mm.
Kevin, could you do a French accent?
that's
Oui.
a negative.
There we go. That's a
Oui, oui.
yes.
Je suis.
That's a yes.
What do you think of what do you think of if
Yeah.
they were to do like Batman Beyond, but instead of Terry McGinnis, it's Damian Wayne?
I don't know
No?
about that. I don't.
Because
I don't
remember, Terry
particularly
McGinnis came
love
out
Damian
before
Wayne.
Damian was born, right?
I like to see Damian Wayne as Batman, but now he's more on the side of the League of Shadows. So he's super vigilante. He's actually killing people. He's doing what
He's doing his grandfather's
Ra's al
work.
Ghul
Doing his
wanted him to
grandfather's
do,
work. Yeah.
right?
Right.
And he creates the legitimate League of Shadows under the watch of.
He fulfills Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
DC Comics and Elseworld Studios presents. Give me that shit, man. I'll take those Elseworld stories any day of the week.
Yeah.
Like, man, there's some good shit in those.
Because there's some good villains in Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I would have been interested in seeing, because we talked to this off air, Deathstroke in a movie versus Batman. Now, Deathstroke,
Oh, that would have been
sick.
sick.
It's a perfect matchup because he's just as smart,
I love Slade
has the
Wilson.
equipment, can bring the pain. And remember, Ben Affleck.
Healing factor.
Yeah, Healing Factor. Ben Affleck's directed movie was supposed to have been a Deathstroke versus Batman movie, and supposedly it was a really good story that unfortunately we may never see. So I was very interested. I would have loved to have seen that movie.
No, I do appreciate it. I appreciate this table
Mm-hmm.
doing this Batman podcast. I'm a huge Batman guy. And I know we
Mhm.
talk about a lot of stuff, and I always bring up Batman. I do appreciate the fact that we got together and we discussed Batman in all the areas we could, and I do appreciate it.
No, good. Well, I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah.
Mhm.
We know a lot. Well, I mean, most of us are pretty big Batman
And
fans.
fans.
The strategy-
You're wearing the shirt, Kevin, so I
That's
guess
true.
you've
The
got to be a
Batman.
fan. Yeah, of the Batman. And Sal's got a big titty girl on his shirt.
That's right.
Looks like she's drinking a big goblet full of milk
Yep.
running down her chest.
My man juice.
This is actually the Calendar Man's wife.
It could be, yeah.
Batman,
or
Batman stroked her ego.
That
you know?
BDSM Riddler's girlfriend or something that he meets in prison. The only thing that I hope that does not happen is that the dude that played the Joker at the end of the Batman film that we just got, a year ago?
Oh, yeah, Keoghan. If his name was something like
I
that.
fucking hope he does not move forward with that.
From what I hear, they are going to move forward.
Oh, God damn it.
Do we know who it is? Like,
His name is...
He's the guy that could, make people do whatever they want in the what is it, the Eternals?
oh,
Yeah, that guy.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just don't know. I didn't like his portrayal in that little bit. I guess he's going to have to win me over.
Win you over?
I'll say this:
you know.
he did a better laugh than who.
Yeah, Barry Keoghan.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, with that, guys, who would you like to see on the big screen? What villain would you like to see and why? What really gets your juices flowing when it comes to the Batman villains? And what heroes in the Batman universe would you like to see that we haven't seen yet? The Signal, somebody like that, Anarchy. Who would you like to see along with Batman on the big screen? Let us know in our comments. You could also email us. You can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Smoke signals. We don't care. Please, if you get a chance, look up our sponsors and help support them, help support small business. Splattered Frog Brewing Company and Half's Hot Sauce. Please check them out. They have some fine, amazingly tasty, delicious products. Obviously, our sponsors are food related and drink, so you can tell that that's what we enjoy also. If you get a chance, listen to our audio podcasts. They come out every Thursday or Friday normally, and they are on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, aka Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google, you name it, we're on it basically. And if you can't find us, reach out to us, let us know, and we will get on that platform for you.
Did we give love to our sponsors?
Yes, we did. We did. I went through the whole thing while you weren't listening.
Okay.
Jesus.
Just want to make sure, man.
Where are you at?
Man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stop doing lines.
I'm sorry.
Stop doing lines.
I'm sorry.
This drug stuff needs to stop.
Whose line is it, anyways?
Just say
Just say no.
Yes. So with that, I want to give a hearty thank you to Kevin, to Showtime,
Big Sal.
and to Big Sal,
Yeah.
and of course myself, the most special one here.
The most important person here, right?
Short bus
According to me,
special.
I guess, right?
Yes.
We're our own
Yes.
most important person in
Yes.
the room.
Yes.
But with that, thank you for tuning in. And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps we'll see you
At the dark, caped, and always Gothamized comic book.
This has been The Real Short Box. We'll see you at the comic shop. Thanks for listening.